Morning, everybody. It is 8:10 a.m. It is February 13th. What a wild market we have. Yesterday, CPI came in hot. Markets went down. Then they were bought up and went back to the most traded price of the year of that 60.88, 60.86 level. And now we're selling from that level a little bit. As well as in the NASDAQ, we're hovering around the 217.86 level. That's the most traded price of the year in the NASDAQ. And we're in this big range. And I talked about it yesterday. I said this gap down on Sunday, this past Sunday, that got bought up. We almost went to that level, but we didn't. And then we recovered. So the market still is like in a standstill. And we're going to break out of this large range eventually, but don't know which way. And then, Trump's talking about the Russia and Ukraine war, trying to end it. He talked about China retaliatory tariffs today or the next day. And now China is saying that they might want to help end the Ukraine Russia war. A lot going on. So without further ado, welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. I use volume profile, market profile, find structure in the markets along with supply and demand, gamma exposure levels, the most traded price of the year, the month, the week, and the previous day. And of course, my bread and butter, market internals. That's my edge. That's how I set up my day. And hopefully, I impart this knowledge on you. All right. So every day I do this. Every morning I do this. Please join me. Subscribe, set an alert. That would be much appreciated. I'll give you the recap of yesterday, the market news, leaders and laggards, economic calendar, and we go into trade scenarios later on. And then if I feel that a trade is educational, I will post it with my criteria. Now, I just posted one yesterday. I posted one, I don't know how long ago I posted the other one, but I posted one yesterday. I'm going to post one today. So I'm going to keep them coming. I think I owe three more. I think maybe two, three more. So hopefully you check those out. And if you check those out, I put them on YouTube Shorts, as well as X at Gonzo719. Of course, TikTok, Gonzo719 Trader. And you can always get everything you need at my Discord server, Confluence Trading. Go to my homepage of YouTube and join. All right. You get interaction with me. I go live. Today I'm actually going live at market open. I feel that's the best time to listen to what I'm saying about the market. I have a section that's private right now where I keep all my stats, my setups, how I read the market, what played out. And pretty much I'm on point every day with my system. So hopefully you guys can join me 9:30 a.m. market open, and we'll look at the markets together. All right. Now let's get into the watch list here. Futures. Let's see what's moving markets. Now today we have PPI, so I'm not sure because there's such a big move we got from CPI if that's gonna be able to move markets as much. Not sure. But the leader today is the VIX. The VIX is up 1.51%. It's at a 16. Right, gold is at 0.49. 30-year bonds are being bought, up 0.39. Russell is up 0.31. Nasdaq's flat. Dow is flat. ES basically flat. Silver's down 0.09. Dollar's down 0.12. The 10-year yield that spiked yesterday is down 0.54. Ether's down 0.73. Crude is down 1.25%. And Bitcoin's down 1.44%. Now, crude had a lot of inventories, surplus of inventories come in, so that's going to take down crude. You get more supply, the demand isn't as high. So, and Trump has promised to lower oil prices. So we'll have to see. They're at key levels right now in crude, so maybe we'll look at that later, maybe not. All right, so moving on to the Mag 7 Plus. Oh, this is your futures watch list here in stocks. Then we're going to move on to the Mag 7 Plus. Here we go. Now, here, Coinbase I believe they had earnings, so they're up 2.64, even though Bitcoin's down. That's probably why. Tesla's up 2.26 of getting battered. All right, AMD's up 0.70. Now we got some laggards here. We'll go over to the 20 percenters. Amazon down 0.21, Nvidia down 0.22, Apple down 0.33, and Broadcom down 0.58. All right, moving on to top sector stocks here. Walmart's up 0.29, Uber's up 0.23. Who's the little laggards here? Is Exxon is down 0.16, Disney's down 0.17, Snowflake's down 0.57. Let's go to the more granular list here. Here we go. Dutch Bros reported earnings. They're up 24%. Wow. Crocs is up 17.52%. Robinhood, I believe they reported earnings. They're up 13.34%. MGM up 9.54. I believe they reported earnings. Maybe I'm wrong. TAP, I think that's Molson, up 6.06%. Cisco's up 5.79%. Yeti's up 4.62%. HIMS up 3.58%. Unity Software up 2.88%. And Wynn Resorts up 2.35%. Okay, and then Las Vegas Sands is up, so casino is getting some love here. All right, let's look at some laggards here. Laggards, Trade Desk. I believe they reported earnings. They're down almost 30%. Wow. Datadog reported earnings. They're down 10%. Reddit down. They reported earnings. They're down 8.14. I believe this is John Deere down 4.95. Roku's down 2.49, and Supermicro Computers is down 2%. Taiwan Semiconductors down 1.43. There's your more granular list. Now we're going to move to the sectors, the guts of the market. All right, let's do that. Leading the pack today is discretionary. That's basically due to Tesla. All right. Staples is up only 0.07, and then really, I wouldn't call it laggards, but the energy and semis. Semis the laggard, but it's really not even down that much. Okay. All right, moving on to the economic calendar. Now we have news dropping at 8:30. Okay. So let's just go see the economic calendar here. Let's look at that together. All right, so 8:30. We have initial jobless claims, continuous jobless claims. We have core PPI headline number, core year over year, expecting 3.3. We had 3.5, so we're expecting PPI core to go down. Now, PPI headline year over year, consensus is 3.2. They're expecting it to rise 0.1. Okay. Looks like we also have 30-year mortgage, 30-year bond auction today at 1 p.m. So 1 p.m., 30-year bond auction could shake market a tiny bit. So, but 8:30, we'll look at those. All right. If we look at earnings, okay, before the open, after the close yesterday was Reddit, Robinhood, Dutch Bros. We talked about that. Trade Desk, Cisco, MGM, right? We also all talked about the losers and the winners of that. Now, before the open today, Datadog, John Deere, Crocs, Duke Energy, Sony, GE Healthcare. Okay, now after the close, now see, Coinbase didn't report yet. So after the close, Coinbase, Twilio, DraftKings, Applied Materials, Airbnb, Palo Alto, Roku, Wynn. Okay, those are after the close. Now before the open tomorrow, Moderna, AMC Networks. That's about it. All right. Back to here. Let's go to some news. All right, let's go Cisco. Stock rose 6.3% after the technology conglomerate lifted its annual revenue guidance thanks to in large part to artificial intelligence. Reddit stock slumped 10% after the social media platform's daily active unique visitors in the fourth quarter missed expectations. Dutch Bros stock surged 23% after the coffee chain reported stronger than expected earnings. Let's see, Molson Coors stock rose 6% after the beverage company reported fourth quarter earnings that beat analyst expectations. Let's see, John Deere stock fell 4.9 after the agricultural equipment maker reported a 50% drop in net income. Robinhood stock soared 12% after the cryptocurrency trading platform reported record fourth quarter revenue and profit on the back of resurgence in retail trading. GE Healthcare stock rose 0.5 after the healthcare technology company posted better than expected earnings. Crocs stock rose 18% after the footwear company reported better than anticipated income. Trade Desk stock slumped 29% after the ad tech firm forecast its first quarter revenue below estimates. Datadog stocks dropped 8.4 after the cloud monitoring and security platform provider's guidance disappointed as its fourth quarter earnings beat expectations. So guidance was the thing that took that down. Let's look up more. It says Musk will pull open AI bid if ChatGPT maker remains a nonprofit. Jeez. All right. Cisco, JP Morgan, CEO Diamond derides an office work pushback, demands efficiency. All right. I'm just going to look at any other specific news here. I think that pretty much covered. We got CVS, Healthcore, Morgan Stanley raises target price to 68 from 63. Reddit raises target price to 10 from 197. Cisco, Evercore, ISI raises target price 75 from 65. All right, now the only thing the juice is really talking about is the reciprocal tariffs to China. Okay, and he's talking about. Let's see here. I think he said it's tomorrow, but we'll see. And he talked to Putin. We'll see what's going on here. All right, we still got news coming out in about 8 minutes. Um, let's look at upgrades, downgrades real quick. It's gonna give me an average. Oh no, it didn't. Okay. Let's see. Cisco upgraded, neutral to buy. CVS upgraded. We talked about that. Gilead upgraded. Coca-Cola upgraded, hold to buy. AT&T upgraded, neutral to outperform. All right, let's look at downgrades. And downgrades. Kraft Heinz downgraded. Macy's downgraded. Trade Desk downgraded. Okay. I think we'll wrap up that. And we'll go into daily charts. And we'll just look at what we're doing. All right. Because this market is just going nowhere constantly. We try to take it down and it doesn't do it. Right. We try to take the markets down. It just can't go down. Right. So you can see yesterday we opened right here, right? And then we pushed right down to the 50-day moving average, and that became support. I looked at that at the beginning of the market. I'm like, ooh, we're pushing right off the 50. This is the year-to-date anchored VWAP right here. This trend line is right here, right? So that was supportive for the market, right? Unbelievable, right? And so we went through the 20, closed right at the 90 MA daily, right? Let's look at futures. Well, let's see where we're at now. 603.10. 603.10 puts us close to the open yesterday. So we're holding higher prices. Okay. News drops soon, so we'll keep doing this. Look at the futures. Down, up, up, down, up, down. And look at that. This is the anchor VWAP for the year, holding the markets. This white line is the anchored VWAP for the year. This is last year's anchor. I wouldn't put too much weight into this futures contract just because this is a back adjusted. So, but the year-to-date anchor VWAP holding the markets. Okay, and this is just a mess. Now go to Qs. Okay, same thing. Look at where it got support. 50-day moving average. Okay, year-to-date anchor VWAP. Okay, now 528.80 is where we're at. 528.80. Right at the highs of yesterday's session. Right at the highs. Okay. So, like I said though, in the middle of the muddle. And now let's look at the Qs, futures. Okay. Again, look, tried to bring us down, up. Bring us down, up. Tried to bring you down right here, up. And where did it hit? Year-to-date anchored VWAP, right here. Year-to-date anchored VWAP to the tick supported the futures. And we ripped back up through the 50, through the 20, through all moving averages. Okay, and now we're kind of like have resistance up here, right? We have a balance area now. And I talked about this yesterday. I said, if this comes down to here, we could have just this large balance area, and that's looking like what we're having. Okay, now moving on. Now this is daily charts, so I didn't even throw that up there. Let's throw that up there. That was your daily charts. And of course, we got to talk about that triple-headed monster, which could change with this news, with the PPI. Okay, so let's look at that 10-year yield. Spiked up yesterday, had a nice spike up, actually to its year-to-date anchor VWAP, and now we're resting, we're hanging out right at last week's highs. So if this takes a fall, we'll have to see. Now oil falling, if you look at oil in the 10-year yield, they tend to move together. They tend to move together. Okay, let's just see if we can put that on the chart real quick to see it. Oop. Let's just put that on the chart. Comparison, and we will do comparison to CL, and we'll make it white. Usually it tells me, okay, candle, let's do a line, and let's see. You see what I'm saying? So the white line's crude. Look at that spike, then crude fell, yields fell, right? Crude fell and then went up, and yields went up. But look, now crude's falling, and this we had that spike. So it's very, very interesting on that crude correlation. I mean, if you zoom out a little bit, I mean, it's pretty much, look at this, the rise up in crude, rise up in yields. The lower crude, the lower yields. It's very interesting. Let's get rid of this now. Remove. Yes. All right, let's look at the dollar. We have data coming out, so we'll go back. Dollar's kind of in a range, right? Dollar is in a range. It's just kind of moving back and forth. And we got our fear gauge, 30 days out of fear. The VIX is kind of in a range as well. We're holding basically 16, which is a 1% expected move, plus or minus in the S&P 500. All right. So we're going to go, and we're going to go switch this to the futures. Yes. We're going to switch this to an hourly chart. And we're going to wait for the news. And then we'll look at this. Okay. And now news is going to drop in a minute and a half. All right. You can look at other assets here. Let's look at crude real quick. Crude's taking a dump right now. So if you look at crude, this is an hourly chart right here. Boom. And you're kind of at a key level. It's last week's lows. Okay. Right there. You're right hanging out there. Really, really interesting. And crude, right? If we look at gold, let's look at gold. Gold's just ripping. Gold is ripping. And I was in gold, like the ETF. And it ripped down. When it ripped down, it got me out. And I didn't have a close stop. And then it ripped back up. And I'm like, oh boy, that sucks. That sucks. All right, let's look at the Russell. Russell's not been doing that great. Look at that. All these highs and then boom, right? All right. We're going to have that data come out in 10 seconds. So I'm going to move over to the ES. Let's look at what the markets do. We'll also pull up the economic calendar. All right, here we go. Got a spike up here. And let's see as the numbers come in. Whoa, 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 whoa. Jesus. All right. So let's look at these numbers. So initial jobless claims. Consensus 215 came in at 213, so that's pretty much expectations. Now, here's the big one. That's going to be interesting here. Core PPI year over year. Consensus 3.3, previous 3.5. It went up zero point 0.3 more than what we expected. So it's hot. It actually went up from last time. All right, now the headline number, right? We expected 3.2, came in at 3.5, which is zero point 0.2 higher than last time. So we have another hot like inflation data number. All right, we have another hot inflation data number. You got a nice wick here. So, wow. Like I said, we wicked up, really, if you want to look at this chart with me. And you'll see this big level. I'm going to show you my hourly chart. Okay? Right here. You see this level right here? It's the most traded price of this year. It's the most traded price of the last month, the week. That's 60, 88 level. 87, 86, whatever. It's just been a monster. So market moves up, hits resistance here. Market moves up, hits resistance here. Market moves up, hits resistance here. Look at this wick right into that level and went right down. Here's the month-to-date VWAP. I actually have the year-to-date VWAP right here. So this, right, if you take out these lows, put sellers back in control of the month, and you could possibly take this out. Okay. So it's going to be very, very, very interesting here. Actually came into a supply zone as well, right up here. Okay. Let's look at the futures watch list here. Let's see what yields dollar are doing. All right. So VIX is up a little more, right? Yields are down, right? Crude is down still. Bitcoin down. But look at ES is flat. Nasdaq's only up 0.1. So now it's starting to push back. Now I don't know, what's going to happen with this candle, obviously, right? You got to wick up to here to that important level in supply. So today, really the name of the game is we did come all the way down here, went all the way back up to this key level. It's the bear bull line of this market. You accept value above it, we should go higher. You accept value below it, we should go lower. All right, and if I even zoom out and just show you the profile for the year, okay? The green is the profile for the year. So this is the highest prices we had this year. Then we have, boom, big volume here. And then this is the start of like the whole year right here. Very balanced profile for the year. Okay. So we really have to see. And you have a large volume node right here around 59.78, right? Around 58, 59.88 for this year. If you take that out, this is real trouble for the markets. You got a big gap down here and you can get all the way down to this 58.30. We have to see because higher prices here is all-time highs above here. So now we're getting some buying. It's just market's nuts. All right, this could possibly be a bull trap here because this is not easy to get through. We have not gotten through this level. Does it happen today? Maybe. I don't know. But pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. All right, now maybe the dust has settled a little bit and we'll be able to come up with a game plan. All right. We'll just have to see here. Hold on. Give me a second here. I'm going to go up into change charts. We're going to change charts here. All right. So this is your ES. All right. Let me get my marker out. Okay. So you just saw what the levels I marked, right? Now, this is our profile. Now, this is rolling. This is rolling profile, rolling week profile, right? Now, if I have to be, I have to state how my system, my way I look at the markets, right? Let's look at this profile. This has a bullish imbalance to this profile. It's incomplete to the upside. Okay? Well, this is why that big level's been acting as resistance to 60.88, 60.87, whatever, right? So in a normal market, what would I expect would be higher prices to complete this profile, because that would be a normal distribution. Okay? Now, this is only a theory, but I talked about it with one of my buddies in the community. I said this possibly could happen and be a big bull trap, and we get a blow off top, and then we really start to, you know, come back to earth. I don't know. I'm not into predicting. I'm just saying that if this profile makes excess, a lot of shorts will get hurt, and then that could be the move lower. But I don't know that. Okay? So, let's look at what we have going on this morning. Okay, so price is right here, 60.81. All right, and let's put up the headline graphic here. We are looking at market profile and volume profile. Okay, so what are we going to do here? All right, so let's look at yesterday. Now, yesterday, let's just recap yesterday. Now, yesterday, I have to admit, full transparency on my community server, I did not follow my rules and I paid for it. I paid for it. All right, big time. So, well, not big time, not a big time losing day, but like I paid for it, right? So, and I talked about it yesterday with you guys. I said this is my favorite if we come down here to go long. Okay, we didn't hit this demand, but we couldn't take out this overnight low, right? And I talked about this overnight VPOC. I said if that gets taken out and there's single prints up here, we could really rip. That's what happened, right? My pre-market analysis was correct. Now, what happened was the market came, ripped up, right? Pushed down, and I did get long here and I cut it, and then because I took a short somewhere here which is against my rules and my system yesterday, tech led all day. The market internals were never really negative. That means always that I want to go long. But yesterday I tried to outsmart my system and tried to short, and I got stopped, and then I went long. That was the right play, but the short that I took made me mentally, it took down my mental capital a little bit, and then it was like I didn't want to lose, even though that was the long again. So if I would have went long again, I would have hit this whole move. Okay, so just it made me very upset yesterday because I have a system for a reason, and I've been doing it all month. Today, that was the first day that I was like, let me go against my plan. But what can I do? I can move on. That's it. Because I know my analysis is correct, right? The pre-market analysis is correct, and the intraday analysis is correct. All right. So then what happened? Look where we pulled back to, right? To the overnight VPOC, right? Then we bought up, and then we got a higher low, and then we pushed even higher. And we went right up and made a poor high actually in the session. Okay. So that's what happened yesterday, right? Like I said, you want to read about my day, go to my community server, and you can see I have a section called Trader Reflections, and you can see exactly what I did wrong, why I did it, you know, and it's a lot different now that I don't claim to be the best trader in the world. Okay, I'm still working on my process, right? I've been consistently profitable for maybe like 14, 15 months, right? So I'm consistently profitable, but I'm a baby in this game of being consistently profitable. The way I read the markets are never wrong. So now it's my job to continuously try to pull out money and execute, because execution is a whole nother skill. Okay, and having confidence in my system. Yesterday, if I really talk honestly about my system, if I just followed my system, I would probably got long here only, got cut it because I believe the cut was with my system, but then I would have longed again, and I would have had a great day, right? So I know my system works. I went against it, right? This doesn't make sense to do that, but I'm human, right? So, and you got to give yourself grace to like be upset and to make a mistake, right? But the market always makes you pay, right? So, price is here. Okay, now let's talk about levels. This is a poor high. That's incomplete to the upside. Usually you correct this, right? But we're right at this monster level, right? So as far as the inventory, we're balanced. There's no edge there. There's zero edge there, right? But let's look at some important levels here. So we know the monster level is 6088. Let's call it 6088. This level is huge. You need to find acceptance above it in order for the bulls to really step up. Okay, you have supply here. You just have a really big level to get out of, right? And you have a little bit of an incomplete auction to the upside in the overnight session. Okay, so this is our level here, 6088, right? And where's the other level? Right? Where's the other level? So it's right here. And this is where the overnight low, 6053, look what that lines up with yesterday's midpoint. So 50% retracement of yesterday's move, overnight low. Guess what else? Value area low. And guess what else? Month to date VWAP. So that becomes our confluence low. That becomes our confluence low. Okay? So this is our game plan here. Overnight highs, overnight lows, basically. Okay? So if I'm going to talk about key levels today, those are it. Now I'm going to write these down so I can update the key levels in my Discord server just so I don't have to go back. So I'm just going to go ES, and I just said it right, 6053 to 51. And we're talking about 6088, and that's actually the VPOC of this year. Okay, so that's the game plan. That's the levels. Okay. Now, that's really it. Okay. This used to be the most traded price of the year, but now the big levels up here. Okay, and we have supply up here. So now let's look at this together. Let's go right into scenarios here. Right into scenarios. And again, I mentioned I will be going live in my community Discord server at 9:30 a.m. right at the market open. Hopefully you can join me. I'm actually do, believe it or not, there's a little pressure on there when you get on there, but I actually want, like, that actually helps me follow my system even more because I'm talking out loud and almost like holding you accountable. So it's almost like a little benefit there. Hopefully you come join me. Now, what did I say? Confluence low, month to date VWAP, overnight low, value area low from yesterday, and the 50% retracement of yesterday. Big levels here. That's why I'm confluence trading, right? Because if you're just a VWAP person, anchor VWAP, you can look at that on your chart. If you're like, oh, I just want to mark down the overnight lows, pre-market lows, then you will mark that level. Then if you're a Fibonacci trader or your midpoint, right? Or if you're a value area, you're a market profile trader, you're looking at value area low. That's why it's all works together, right? And then we have the monster monster level, 60.88. So this is the game plan for me today. Okay, let's talk about this. This in here is chop. I don't want to be initiating trades in here. It is chop. Okay, unless something I see, but this is choppy. Okay, so let's go back to where I was before I wrote the chop. Okay, now what do you want to see if you're a bull? If you're a bull, you want to break this level, break these highs. So we have also a weak confluence high, 60.98 right here. This little level and the supply zone, right? You want to find acceptance here and just hold and see if we can go higher. Maybe we go to 61.22. That's last week's highs. Okay. Now, if we cannot find acceptance above this level, so say, well, no, I'm not going to talk about that because this is the bull side. So let's say we come up here, we fail, and then the market kind of starts to move lower, right? And then we go into my area, your area of interest, this confluence low, right? We go into here, and I want to see how the market reacts here. Now, based on my system, if the market internals, are not super weak, and let's say tech is not weak, I will want to look for a long in here. Okay, and see if we can rip back up. Now, this might be the only move to up here, or break it and start to really cook. Okay, we do have a confluence low here as well. Now that I'm looking at it, 60.23 to 60.20, and we have a demand zone here. Okay, now if we do come down here, I'm going to write this down. If we do come down here, right, I don't think the market will be that strong, so I'll probably avoid it. Okay, so but in this area, if we did come down all this way, I'd really have to see how we come down here to really want to go long. Now, this is now a big balance area, so I'm not totally against it, right? But it'd be a little trickier to go long here. So if we came down here and really recovered and really, like I said, it'd really be hard for me to because if we're all the way down here, the market has to be super weak. All right. So now let's go to the bear side. We got a lot of levels today. Let me put the 60.98 there too. All right. Now, bear side. So we have our confluence high 60.98. We have our big monster level of 60.88, right? We have our confluence low right here, overnight low, month-to-day VWAP, value area low from yesterday, the midpoint of yesterday, right? We have our confluence low here. Okay, so this is the game plan. Remember, in here is chop, in here is noise. Okay, so first thing, if we rip up, and let's say we even go right here, and you're like, oh my God, don't get excited. If you don't see acceptance above here, and we reject higher lows, yeah, then I'm interested in shorting, and you're going to make yourself most likely down to this confluence low, the 60.53 overnight low. What do we do here, right? That's still a nice trade if that ends right here, right? But what if we rip through this month-to-day VWAP and go like this, right? And what do we have here? A little thin volume here. This is not a lot of volume. We can rip right down to where the confluence low, 60.20, 60.23. This is the balance low. This is the big, remember, this is our range. The lows, the highs of this big range, okay? This is a big test for the market. If you were able to rip down, we can go to 59.88, right? Break out of this range, possibly. But I don't know. I really don't know. Now, let's say I said this move is like hard to catch, and you just rip down here. But all you have to do is go like this. If we start holding and holding and holding, and might break the VPOC lower in the session, you could also try that short. Okay? Okay. Moving on to the NASDAQ. All right. Moving on to the Nasdaq. All right. Now, you'll notice it's very important, right? That the rolling profile of the Nasdaq is balanced. So that's very interesting, right? Remember, the ES is not completed profile, not a completed distribution, but the Nasdaq is. Look at this profile. You got nice value area and you got excess now. This overnight is making excess on the profile. Notice it's rejected here. Doesn't mean it can't go higher, right? Just means that the auctions completed more in the Nasdaq. Now, don't get me wrong. Can we come back up here and make thin volume? Sure. But I'm just noting that. I got to note that. Okay. Now, we have big levels to talk about here. We're in supply right now. In supply. This is last week's highs. 219.67, right? Now, we're gapping up. So, let's see, 218.39, I believe, right here is gap fill. That is gap fill. Okay. Now, we don't have that nice highs, beautiful highs, really that much in the Nasdaq. Okay. In the Nasdaq. So we're gapping up into supply, right? Inventory is kind of balanced, right? Inventory is balanced. Now, what's the key level today here? It's the most traded price of the year and of the week, 217. Let's call it 217.90, right here. And that lines up with week to date VWAP, overnight lows. Okay. Bulls need to defend this level. Bears want to break it. Okay. So that's our 217.90 for the Nasdaq. It's the bull bear line. It's the bull bear line. Okay. So that is a big level. Okay. Obviously, overnight high 219.27 kind of lines up with this high over here. And you got to watch this end of this supply zone and last week's highs, right? So that's also in the cards, 219.27. That's our overnight high. Okay. Now, what do we have here, right? So we know this is our little playground. Okay. This is our little playground. So a big level here as well is like the 215.35 to 213.10. That's a confluence low here. Okay. And you have the most traded price of the month. That is 216. Now, yesterday, because I didn't listen to my plan, but I said as long as the Nasdaq opens up and holds 216, it should be bullish, and it was, right? We all know I didn't follow my plan yesterday, right? And I paid for it. So my analysis is never wrong. It's never wrong, unless there's a news catalyst that you don't plan for, right? That just showed me that just follow your system, all right? So down here, right, you got to get through this level. So we got a key level of 216 is the most traded price of the month. And we have 215.10 to 35 is our confluence low. Okay. And we have demand here all the way down here. Okay. Single prints still have not been cleaned here. Okay. So that's what we're talking about today in the Nasdaq. Okay. So why don't we get in to the scenarios? Let's get into scenarios here. All right. We're going to start with the bull case. Okay. Why? Because in my way I look at the markets, the most traded price of the year, most traded price of the week, price is above it. So in order for me to be like, I don't know, like, no, you stay above here, I have to be bullish. I have to be bullish. Okay, and you got gap fill here. We're gapping up. Okay, now we do have a lot of overhead supply here. So right here, would I be crazy about going long? Nope. Nope, nope, nope. All right, so what do we want to see here? Now we could come down to gap fill and start to take off, right? Go try to test last week's highs. We could also come down into this area, and I got to see if bulls defend it. Now remember, my market internals drive my trades. So if market internals are in parity or text leading, and like I will definitely look at a long here. It depends how we do it. Remember, this is the bull bear line. Even if we did this but recovered quickly, that still makes me want to go long. Okay. Now, what I will say is down here we got that confluence low. We have our most traded price of the month. Okay. What I will say is this: if we do, take this out and we come into here, I'm not gonna love longs here, but they could be viable depending on what I see. Okay. If you lose this most traded price of the month and you come down here and you have single prints here, there's not much holding the markets from going lower, but if you went into these singles and did a little recovery, you could get a little recovery. I'm not the biggest fan of that. Okay. Now, let's look at the bear side. Okay. We have a ton of overhead supply. This is all supply. And we're selling from supply, right? So, overnight high becomes very important to look at. Okay. And then we know we have our confluence low here, the most traded price of the year in the overnight lows. Week to day VWAP. Okay. We have our confluence low here, and we have our big 216 level, the most traded price of the month. Okay, so it's all about acceptance. Okay, all about acceptance. Couple things that we could happen here. We could come push up right to this, reject, right, reject, and start to fall. All right, and if the market is showing weakness, you could short that. I will probably take profits right at the gap fill and then see what we do at this level. Take more profits here. Okay. Now you hold the runner. You want to break the overnight lows and start to find acceptance below the bull bear line of 217.90. Okay. If you do that, you got to contend with yesterday's most traded price, 217. If you break that, you're going to head down to the month to day VWAP, most traded price of the month. What I would think here, a cascade effect would happen, and you'd probably test this lows and maybe take out these single prints and test the bottom of this range. Good morning, Muhammad. I don't think I've seen you in a while. All right, in this big demand zone, we just have to see. We just have to see. Okay. Now, that is the plan. I'm really liking the plans today. Now remember, my market internals drive my trades. Every video I do, check it out, I lead with market internals. Now, I want to show you market internals from yesterday. Really want to show you that, okay? Every trade's driven by this. So, let's look at yesterday, okay? Right from the open. Look, now my system, okay? If I have, now the only little tiny weakness, which is not much, was the beginning of the day. And then the market internals really never were weak, right? That's always a long for me. Who's leading? Tech and semis. That is always a long. Doesn't matter what the market's doing. Okay, so right in here, you can see the SPX, right? If I zoom in just on this price action, right? You got the first initial push right here. And then this was your shot at the long, right in here. Notice underneath, the market internals are not weak, right? This was the long. In futures, that would have been 60.35. I tried it once. I should have went in again. And then you get that nice rip up. And look, higher low right here bought up and ripped right to the gamma flip point. Okay? So today, why I'm pointing this out, is today I go live 9:30 a.m. on my Discord server. Muhammad, go to my homepage of the YouTube, click on the link, join the Discord if you haven't done it already. All right, I'm going to show you exactly how I'm going to read this market, how the plan I just talked about comes together. Okay? So, we have our plans. Okay? And you just got to let it, you know, come to fruition. All right? Let it come to fruition. Now, right here, you can see, I'm going to show you right here. Here's my Confluence Discord server. Here's the event. It's at 9:30 a.m. Starts in 28 minutes. Okay? Come join. I'm going to be live. Thanks, Muhammad. Join. All right? Go to my YouTube page. Click on the link. Join the server. See me at 9:30. And you'll see exactly how I come up with the plan and what drives my trades. Okay? Now, hopefully you enjoyed that analysis, right? Smash that like button. All right? Smash that like button for me. Of course, I uploaded a reel yesterday. I'm going to upload a reel today of trading. Okay? And I will post them YouTube Shorts and my X account Gonzo719, also TikTok Gonzo719 Trader. Now again, I just talked about it. It's my new baby, Confluence Trading Discord server. Go to my YouTube homepage, join. Today I'm doing an event, 9:30 a.m. live with me. Come join me. Okay? Come join me and see my system. I deviated from it yesterday. I would have made money, but come see it. I track every day the stats that I look at and how I look at what the story should be for the day. It's never wrong. Okay, so come join me, everybody. And then now, of course, my Discord server. But if you haven't already, subscribe. Right, subscribe, set an alert. I feel like give quality content. I know some of it's complex, but that's why I'm having that live event. And it will make more sense to you of how I look at the markets. All right. Everybody have a great day. I'll see you at 9:30.